All names, photographs, and persons depicted on Fugitive Watch are presumed to be innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
We're here. Scott Castrita, Mark Hinch. I'm hoping everything's working, Scott.
Yeah, here you go again. I told you, don't give me that. I hope. And I forgot. I don't want to hear that from my doctor either.
Yes, okay. Hey, it's a Fugitive Watch live stream. This is our second one. Last week, we kind of did a little intro. We're going to get right in today. We got some cool stuff to talk about. We do know last week, we're talking about the city councilman, Scott Omar Torres. We just want to clarify that he is up for arraignment, correct?
Yeah. Last week, I said that people thought I meant that he had already pled guilty. No, he was just going in for arraignment.
Arraignment, right? And then,
I know he didn't. His bail was refused. He didn't get bail.
Bail was refused, right? Yeah. Right. Okay, let's go into the very first story here. I want to get into. Let's go into, man, this is brutal. The title of this stream is Has the World Gone Crazy? Because this is really crazy. Back in Arizona, a disturbing attack on Arizona Department of Child Safety DCS employee has raised concerns about safety within the department. The attack, which was streamed live on Facebook by the assailant, Deidre Terrell Johnson, occurred during a meeting about Johnson's children. Johnson could be seen growing increasingly agitated during the meeting and ultimately places employee in a chokehold for 2.5 minutes. So let's go ahead. We're going to pull this up here. I'm going to.
This is insane video.
It is insane. Hold on a second here, guys.
It's brutal. Holding somebody for 2.5 minutes in a chokehold. That was definitely.
Scott, tell us what's going on here.
So apparently he was meeting with this CPS worker. And, you could see he's kind of meeting him out in the open. Well, he set up his phone to live stream it. He planned on messing this guy up the whole time. He chokes him out. He tells him he's going to kill him. And, obviously gives tries.
I want to introduce you so that we can have a proper.
He's doing his own intro to a live stream where he's actually planning this whole thing.
Right. He just said there, and the CPS employee was talking about, he didn't want to be on camera, and he's telling him, well, we're going to do this. You're a public employee. They're not police officers, which you can record. I don't know if you can employ video record. Maybe you can. I don't know the rules on that, but let's go. The audio goes in and out on this.
He's in a public place, so I know here in California you can do it.
Right.
I want to introduce you. Don't be afraid. You hold a public position, man.
So he acts like everything's cool at the end there, and then watch this.
Look at that.
I mean, that's a police chokehold. We all learned those in the academy back in the
80s
and 90s. I don't know if they teach
them. Come away from you. Police can't use them anymore.
Right.
He was a dead man. He was a dead man.
So people are noticing what's going on. You could tell his body's limp. He's out.
Right. You can see that. You can hear the people in the background talking. And I wanted to get into something here. There's no armed guards in the lobby, and we're going to get into that in a second.
Yeah. Why? Why isn't there? And at the end, I don't know if it plays or not, but you can hear him drop the guy's body just thumped on the ground. Now, knowing a little bit about chokeholds, we all know that when you do that, you're cutting off the oxygenated blood.
He was a damn.
And the person goes out, but as soon as they go out, you got to let go, or you take a good chance of causing some serious brain damage or killing them.
Right. He's still breathing.
Look at this. He's still breathing. I didn't make my effing point. I mean, he obviously intended to do this. He knew his life is over at this point. He wanted to make whatever friggin' point he wants to make.
I can't imagine people in the lobby watching this going on and wondering, how do I jump in? How do I get involved?
Okay,
But
I'm gonna say this: Arizona, a lot of carrying going on in Arizona, man. This is the one time where there's no one with a gun out there, because Scott, I mean, anybody would have the right to shoot this guy, especially after grabbing the guy a second time.
he's using deadly force. He's trying to kill the guy.
Right.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but using a chokehold like that, obviously he knows what he's doing. I can see that for a fact. He's obviously trained in how to do it.
Right.
But if he would have held that guy much longer, he probably would have killed him.
All right, so let's talk about here on the what's going on. I think there's some shots of his charges here. He was charged with first-degree attempted murder, aggravated assault, unlawful flight, meaning he fled. So he's been charged. And let's go back to real quick.
What do you think? Should he get bail?
Not at all. But he's definitely got the intent. He live streamed it. Obviously, something going on there. But here's the thing. CPS just took away their security just a little bit prior to this, budget cuts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They, which someone like that, he went in there and he did the layout of the land. He knew what he could get away with.
Right.
Because any armed security.
And he knew nobody was going to challenge him. I mean, he's a big guy.
Right.
He felt pretty confident about himself, and I don't think he really even cared. I mean, he probably, if somebody would have come in there and shot him, he probably would have expected it.
Right.
I mean, he based on what he said there, I didn't make my effing point. The guy's still alive. He definitely he had all the intention in the world to take that guy out.
Right. He did. Hey, Steve Ferdine's in the chat, everyone. If you want to say hi to Steve, he's there. And like Steve said, very disturbing video going on here. And one of the more disturbing ones I've seen on Fugitive Watch. And again, I don't know what his record is. If anybody knows his record, go ahead and throw it in the chat or throw it in the comments when this thing makes a regular YouTube video. We don't know what his history is.
I want to introduce you. So
and obviously, if he's meeting with the CPS worker, that's Child Protective Services, right? So,
right.
Obviously, they must have found him to be an unfit parent. I have no idea what he's there for, but
yeah,
he don't look too fit there.
No, he doesn't. No, not good.
So,
all right, let's move on to our next case, and we're gonna do. This is one here is again just a choking attack happened. Now that originally the suspect was not identified, but now we know the suspect has been ID'd. And let's go ahead and we'll pull this up here.
This happened in Fresno, right?
Fresno County Fair, I believe. Yeah.
Fresno County Fair. Yeah. Well, actually, we were planning on talking about this, and you could see, I guess it stemmed, Mark, from this girl decided to cut in line, and the other girl said, "Hey, that's not cool." And then she started choking her, and apparently threw her phone, broke her phone too. And they first put this video out because they were trying to ID her, but she just got ID'd, so she's gonna pay the consequences for sure.
Yeah, the article I read stated that they're still investigating it. They haven't actually charged her. Now, if that's changed, go ahead and comment. But this is a great example. Everyone's got a camera now. Whatever you do is going to be put out there. This includes police officers. And obviously, everyone's going to know who that girl is. And I'm sure she was identified pretty quickly. But
that's the beauty with especially now with social media. Back in the day, literally when we started doing Fugitive Watch, we just had TVs we were piping this stuff to. Right. Now you're piping it to everybody. And we were good for over 3,000 captures, and we were just piping the stuff on TV and then newspaper. But nowadays, these people are getting ID like quick.
Right. Okay, let's take one more. We're going to take a look at a shooting that went down in Alaska. Originally, they did not release the footage, and there was a lot of concerns. I'm going to go ahead and this is a difficult, important topic. We're looking at the recent death of 16-year-old Esther Lifa in Anchorage, Alaska. Esther was shot and killed by a police officer in August, and her death has sparked some outrage. But since then, they have released the video. And Scott, I'll go have you kind of talk through the video here a little bit. If you pull it up here.
Yeah, they show up. Apparently, they got a girl. They know she possibly has a knife. She's out on the porch area. We'll see her here in a second. And the thing that I don't want to look like a Monday morning quarterback to these guys.
She's gone.
No, she's still outside. Like, she's
Do you know where she's at?
Yeah, she's at the balcony.
There's a couple.
Oh, she's on the balcony right now?
No, she's sitting outside the balcony.
She's going to be
on
on
the
the
balcony, and she's covered. She's got her like a
building.
blanket or
She's on the
something
ground,
over. You guys can't see her.
Where's she?
I will say this: the recent article I read after the video went public here was that they're not going to charge the officer, and it's pretty clear at the end that there's a knife shown, and she's coming at the officer with
No,
it.
I saw the knife. There's definitely.
On the
I just
balcony
don't
right
understand where they got in there, and they. I guess maybe for legal reasons, they talk about all that we have. We got dogs. We got tasers. We got everything listed. Every non-lethal
Can we
weapon.
get the kiddos out of here?
But
There's the officers asking to get the kids out of there. They see walking around, so they're trying to do everything to make the environment as safe as possible.
Does she still have the knife with her?
No, she just.
Okay. Can you get up and leave too?
Just back that way, please.
For safety
in that
reasons, 'cause I don't-
situation,
if we have a
ego and
confrontation,
too many
I don't want to
people
deal with
in
you
the room.
and her.
you try to.
I don't know what she's going to do, neither do you. Please
Paint it.
leave.
Well, we're just asking you just to move further back. That's all. Okay? That's all we're asking.
Hey, we need some more in the apartment to help manage these folks. They're being a little bit 1032.
That looks. Is that a? It looks like we had a 40 millimeter, or I don't. I know they don't use beanbag anymore, right, Mark? I think they quit using those. Well, this is Anchorage, so I don't know.
So she's out there on the porch with the screen door. We're going to get to that part here in a second. And they're concerned that they've got their guns out, and they're not pointing at her. They don't know. Apparently she has a knife. That's all they know, right?
Typical training is you're going to have at least one person on gun, and somebody on less than lethal, they call it. And that's typical training because less than lethal does not always work. I've seen people get tased, it didn't work. I've seen people shot 40 millimeter, it doesn't work. I've seen them hit with pepper ball guns, it doesn't work. And if that person's armed and still coming at you, then you have nothing left but the guy holding lethal has to take care of it.
Right. Well, this is.
Or gal.
Well, right here we get the door open, and then we see it all go down.
Hey, go ahead and show me your hands. Show me open, empty hands. It's the Anchorage police. If you do not comply, you could be injured. Open, empty hands. We are not going away.
We want to help you.
That's her underneath the blanket there, facing away from us. The
This
blue blanket.
turns dark really fast.
The blue, yeah. Here she goes.
I need to
Yep.
see open, empty hands, please. Show them. I can't see them from behind you. Put them above your head, please. Please show me open, empty hands.
All right, let's look
Your
at this.
non-compliance could result in injury. I don't want to hurt you.
Listen to
We
everything
have
he's saying.
lethal. We have less lethal options. We have taser. We have K9. We have 40 millimeter launcher. Okay.
Here she comes.
Face away
There's
from
a
me.
knife.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife.
That is just. That is sad.
It's
It's sad to see. It's sad for that family. It's sad for that little girl. What her intention was, I don't know.
What's we all know our training. a little bit older, 80s and 90s. Ours was always 20 foot with a knife, right? The closing
Yeah,
distance.
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
can
say,
shoot somebody and they can still close the distance and stab you with a knife. But you know, I was in that. I had that exact call, and we had the guy sitting there, and he was underneath. It wasn't a blanket. He had a tarp on him, and he wouldn't come out. And the family said he was, you know, he had some issues, and we didn't know what he had in his hand, and we didn't want to approach him. And so we we ended up. Well, in this case, he started setting fires in the house. We knew that. So we were, but fire department was there. We used the fire department. We blew out all the windows with the fire hose. We shot out all the windows with the 40 millimeter. We evacuated all the houses around him. Meanwhile, this guy still would not come out from underneath that tarp. So then we went back and we shot at the tarp with the 40 millimeter. We hit him with every less than lethal we had. And then we used about 10 cans of spray on him. And then finally he stood up and we could see it in everything in his hands, and they tackled him down. We had a happier ending. The house was trash though. The house was, you know, but in this case, that wasn't a happy ending. And again, I'm not trying to Monday morning quarterback. I don't know what was going through those officers' minds. I don't know what the look on her face was. I can't tell by looking at that whether they obviously they felt their lives were in danger. And I'm sure that no officer wants to kill anybody, let alone a 16-year-old.
Yeah, well, I guess there's a lot of issues going on. There's been a lot of shootings in Alaska by police in Anchorage prior to this, so there's a lot of controversy going on. But I'm so glad the officers have body cameras, because it really does tell a story of what's going down. Whether the procedures will get changed, I don't know. But a body camera is still the best tool police officers have.
I do know that the guy listed like, oh, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. But then I don't, unless I missed it, I didn't see any of that get used. But maybe I missed it. I did hear racking of a shotgun, which could have been a 40 millimeter. And maybe it didn't work.
To me, it almost looked like she just wanted them to shoot her.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah, you know.
And that's always a sad thing too. So anyway, again, I'm not trashing on these guys because I was not there, you know. But that's the problem with video too, Mark. It doesn't always tell the whole story,
right?
You know.
Hey, let's check it out. Fugitive.com is the original website. Also, if you want to follow Scotty, he runs the Fugitive Watch Instagram page, and you can always message him on there. But if you have if you're a bail bondsman, police officer, bounty hunter, and you want a fugitive, go ahead and submit it to fugitive.com. And if you know any of the fugitives that are listed on the website, you can give them a call. How do they reach you guys, Scott?
Well, if you hit our contact number, we still have the same number we've had for 30 something years, 1-800-9-COT. We have tips at fugitive.com. You can go to the website and you can be anonymous. We do ask for an email address, but we know most of them that people put in there, they're not real. But we've gotten some really good tips. We get them all the time. And again, we couldn't do this without the community's help. So this is their site.
Okay, real quick. I also am a private investigator. I run the website stolen911.com. We're going to come back with a fraud case involving a bear costume. Maybe you heard about this one. I have something to say about this, and we'll be right back in about 20 seconds.
Stolen 911 is fighting back against thieves. Was your classic car stolen? Maybe a thief took that one-of-a-kind work of art. No matter what was stolen, post your story to Stolen 911 to generate leads and get it back.
All right, we're back. Stolen 911 mode. Okay, so I run stolen911.com. Here's the website here. I've had it since 2007. Got some cool cases. I had this case posted on my website. I was assigned this case as an insurance investigation. It's a F100 1972 classic. A lot of classic cars is kind of what I specialize in. And I got this case in May. I wrote an article about it. Friday, I started getting phone calls. People started saying, I know where this truck's at, I know where this truck's at. And I got to say, today, I got the truck recovered. I haven't got the photos yet, but I got the truck recovered in Texas by law enforcement there. We got our truck back. And this is because it was on my website. I initially had some leads. They didn't go anywhere. I left it on the website. Like I do all the cases. Someone comes across the truck. Some people come across the truck and they,
Who thinks they're going to hide a truck that looks like that? I would think it would have been stripped.
and I apologize. No one was watching the video. I had the wrong graphic up. But here's a truck on the website here. And some guys came across it. There was some argument going on. And next thing you know, someone said something's up with the truck. And then these guys started Googling it and they find it on my website, Stolen 911. So there it is right there. But it works. If I can help you with something, go ahead and submit a case to the website. You can just go to submit a case at the website there, and if it's not listed on here, just go ahead and shoot me an email. And we'll get your case on there. And
you did a lot of coordinating. You did a lot of coordinating over the phone to get that truck, right?
Oh, I
did.
Had
about it. Yeah,
I was on it today when you called me. I was frantically trying to get the cops out there to pick it up because the guys were going to push it outside. And there's a lot more going on to this, and it's still under investigation. But we got it back, and it's about
maybe that next show, Mark. You got to tell them about that one car that you recovered. Remember, the guy was super thrilled, and you guys had the media out there and everything.
Yeah. We got a bunch of them. We're going to do a lot of cases.
Yeah,
okay,
that was a good
let's
case.
talk about this case with the bear suit. This is crazy, and it's insurance fraud, and the suspects are from Glendale, California. And I'm going to tell you right now, Glendale, California is ground zero in California for insurance fraud.
Crazy.
A lot of cases going down with a lot of the residents in the Glendale, Burbank area. That's all I'm going to say. And
these guys must have been high.
Oh my God. I open an office in Calabasas. I'm working down there all the time doing insurance cases, and it's gotten crazy. But let me go ahead and I'll pull this up here. Where's the bear suit? Just crazy.
Yeah, this is super hilarious.
Caught on camera, it looks like a giant bear ransacking a Rolls Royce. And here a massive beast appears to tear apart a Mercedes. Now a ferocious...
So Inside Edition did the best coverage of this. So we're going to watch it. Scott and I are going to react to it. Here we go.
Bear seems to be at it again, ripping into another Mercedes. How could a bear target 3 cars on the same property in Lake Arrowhead, California? Turns out it's alleged to be a giant hoax. Authorities say it was actually a human wearing a bear costume, much like this one, using sharp metal-like claws to scratch at the interior.
It looks so fake.
But listen, if you're not used to doing bear attack investigations, I mean, but it gets better. Check this out.
Of the cars. And then that fraudulent insurance claim was turned in.
I love how the reporter got the bear suit. That is inside. That is perfect. That is perfect. I'm gonna get a bear suit for when I go out there.
One of the wildest, dumbest alleged fraud schemes I've ever heard of.
The California Department of Insurance released this photo of the bear costume and kitchen meat shredders they say were used to pull off a $141,000 insurance fraud claim. Operation Bear Claw.
Operation Bear Claw. There we go. Our suspects are all from Glendale, California.
Led them to the arrest of 4 suspects. So, how were they caught? All right, so here I am in the bear costume.
I love this guy. This is awesome. I love it. I want to get this costume. This is gonna be me next Halloween.
Digging around in the back seat of the car here, and as hard as I try, it's pretty difficult to mimic the exact motions of a bear. Look closely at the surveillance footage. Do those arm motions look like those of a real bear?
I guess
I like how the car is always parked in the same exact spot for that camera. So they each took turns parking their car. I wonder, did they hit 3 different insurance companies, or did they try this with all the same insurance company?
Yeah, I wasn't assigned this case, but it made it to eventually. I'm sure the investigators started looking into it and somehow reached out to the Department of Insurance, the DOJ's task forces on insurance fraud, and great investigation. Just it's amazing what these crooks try to get away with.
I'll tell you what, I saw
and
many
check out
cases
those
of
wrinkles.
insurance fraud.
What's that? Oh,
I,
yeah.
I saw many cases of insurance fraud. I'll share,
Sure. We all
the
did.
story in a minute.
Okay, we got a little
Watch
more
this.
here.
In the bear costume. One more thing. This is what a car typically looks like
Yes.
after a real-life bear attack.
That's
Totally
like Tahoe.
trashed. Not neat little scratches like these
Yeah.
and this.
And they're not showing those right now. These are what real ones look like.
Alleged fraud.
All
I've
4
seen
suspects
that.
are charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy.
So, I mean,
Yeah, if a bear gets in your car, and I've seen a lot of videos, we've actually posted a few of them where up in South Lake Tahoe and up there in Tahoe, they know how to open the doors and just go in. And sometimes they've gone in and the door locks and they freak out. And that's when the car looks like that. But I know that I remember one of my famous insurance frauds was I get to the guy's house and take a report, and this guy insisted somebody broke into his house. Takes me in the house and he lists all the stuff that was taken. I mean, cameras, TVs. He named everything expensive you can think of, computers. But I'm walking around this guy's house. I'm thinking he doesn't have a lot of furniture. So he tells me, oh yeah, they stole all his furniture too. And he said he was asleep. So I walked in his bedroom. I said, well, where were you sleeping? I go in this bedroom. There's a mattress on the floor and there's 2 milk cartons like for nightstands. And I said, okay, so you had furniture in the whole house. Did they steal your bed while you were sleeping and replace it with the milk cart? And the guy's like, he's just seriously looking at me like I'm going to buy this. And then the thing that really got me, I told him, I took him over. I said, well, show me where the point of entry, where they came in. Here's the mistake he made. I told him, next time you're going to stage a fake burglary, break the glass from outside in.
Scott, Matt Avila just said maybe they got the costume for a furry convention.
Yeah. Well, I have an alligator. Catch you later.
Yeah. I don't think that's furry though, is it? Okay.
Could be.
So this is I retired from the Highway Patrol in 2019 and got my PI license, and insurance fraud was the first type of gigs I get. I investigate a lot of insurance stuff, and a lot of it's legit. A lot of these thefts are legit. Most of them are, but I get a good percentage of them, man. We turned out we find out something else is up. So
in my case, I was telling you, the guy broke the window from inside the house, so the glass was outside. And I said, you broke the window the wrong direction. And he just looked at me and he goes, you know what, just forget it. And I go, oh no, we're not going to just forget it. I've been here long enough investigating this. I'm writing up a report. And I said, I go, and then with tons of car insurance, I used to notify insurance companies all the time.
Yeah.
Like what you do a lot of that stuff. And I tell them straight up that this is not, this guy's car was not really stolen. It was pushed off a cliff. Right. Those surgical strips where they strip everything off the car.
Yeah. Paint, keying a car 360 degrees. I remember taking one of those. And growing up, I've been around some of that as a kid, and I wasn't too impressed with those people, and then I would see it as an officer in West LA when I was with the Highway Patrol. I'd see these kids show up with their cars keyed. It's just not a thing. In reality, it's really not a thing when their car comes back keyed 360 degrees. But whatever. But again, if you need a PI, go ahead and reach out to me at stolen911.com. Okay, we're going to go back over here to our main Fugitive Watch mode. And again, everyone, I appreciate you watching. Scott, thanks again. I don't think you're going to be with us next week. Who do we have covering for you, Scott?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be busy, but Steve is going to jump on here.
Steve Verdeen, is that true? Say so in the comments. True. Steve, are you going to be on TV?
Yeah. So
I'm watching the comments now.
Yeah. He's looking forward to it.
Yeah, he's looking forward to it. He is. Hey, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Thanks for bearing with us. We're smoothing this out. This actually went smoother than last time. So we're getting the details worked out, and we're having fun. And we cut these videos into little short things. Then we did put it to our respective YouTube channels. I put the Stolen 911 videos on let's see, where is it here? the Stolen 911 YouTube channel. And I appreciate you following me there at Stolen 911. I've got some cool videos of me recovering cars, just running into people in stolen cars and stuff. Me run around Oakland and stuff. Some great stories. Please check it out on my YouTube channel, Stolen 911. I appreciate it. Follow me there. And then on Fugitive Watch, we're posting all these, including this live stream, to our YouTube channel. And if you go back all the way back to like 2015, you'll start seeing our very old shows from even before that. So we appreciate everyone watching and checking it out. All right, Scott, all good?
I'm all good.
Just before this began, the studio cat Momo was walking around, and we had to get her out of here. So but we'll get Momo her own camo to put her on there. So
yeah, and I had a dog. You guys can't hear her barking now, but I had to put her in the far back room. I'm babysitting my grand dog.
Yeah,
and she didn't want to shut up, but
yeah.
I didn't think
hear the
people
dog.
want to listen to that.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you next time. If you have any tips, go to fugitive.com. Please subscribe to our feed and our YouTube channels. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, Scott.
All right. Bye, Mark. Thank you.